I always say too much sweeping things under the carpet, and it just never ever turns out good. It just doesn't. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Okay, guys, this is American Crime Season 2, Episode 7. Okay, so we start off, we have Leslie, the headmaster. She's actually meeting with Evie's dad, and again, sweeping things under the carpet. She's literally offering them a cash settlement to basically silence them, and that they can't make any claims against the school now or forever with this whole situation. So I'm led to believe that they accept it. More covering up, more sweeping things under the carpet. Then we got Eric's brother. We see him getting spray paint, and the next thing you know, he's at his school over at Marshall, and he's spray painting the wall. God hates fags. He's just like on a full-out tirade and a campaign against his own brother because he's come out that he's gay. So he's having a whole big issue. Later on, we actually see his dad. His dad comes down to the school because he has to pick him up because they got into all kind of trouble about spray painting and making nasty slurs, hate slurs. So the dad comes down to get him. He's deflecting what the situation is sweeping the real issue under the carpet. He going back and forth with the principal. The principal tell him, we will not tolerate any type of hate speech. We're not going to do it. We're not going to have it here. Well, meanwhile, of course, they have a rally going outside, a racial rally going on outside with the Mexicans against the blacks. So, no, we're not going to deal with our problem right now. Oh, you're going to tell me about my problem? When you get that together, then you tell me. Don't try to act like you don't have a problem. You have a problem. You got one child against the other child, and also the mother. You have an issue. Stop sweeping it around and go handle your damn issues. So he comes back to the house. Eric's home. He's like, why are you here? Why are you home? Why are you here? Why aren't you in school? And they saying, I need help here. Look at your brother. Look what all this is doing to your brother. I need help here. Meanwhile, you're not even focusing on Eric and what he's going through. And Eric ended up letting his ass have it. He told me, he said, what about, you always looking at me for some help. You always ask me to help you with him. And he's been nothing but a little shit the whole time. This brother, that little brother is really trying. I've been to punch his face. But he's a hot mess. And he basically told the dad, right, fuck you, you clown. Stop all this damn crying and whining and man up. So hopefully he'll listen. But that's one situation that we dealt with this episode of the sweeping things. Everybody wants to sweep the problems under, nobody wants to deal. And Eric had said this to the dad before. He tried to talk to him. He tried to, have the conversation. And then, you ain't ready to have a conversation. No, you're not ready to have the conversation. So their whole family life is a mess. Then we had this little situation where Taylor's mother's medical records have been leaked and actually put on social media that she had depressive psychosis. And then, they're interviewing Coach Dan. Coach Dan is just ridiculous. But when we seen Taylor's mother actually talking to the journalist, and the journalist is just throwing questions at her, This was like accusations like she lost custody and this, that thing, and the other. She was locked up. None of that was true. She checked herself into the hospital. She left Taylor with Nate and Tess. So none of that was true. She was very adult about it. She was very responsible about the situation. She knew she was going down a bad road. She checked herself into the hospital. She put her child with people that that would take care of them so that she didn't lose her child. Okay? But of course, they're trying to spin it and make her look crazy. When they interviewed Coach Dan, he literally went there with it. She lost custody. She's mentally ill. She's crazy. And the things that family put my student through just turned everything around. Went all on that, blamed her for the suicide attempt. Accused her of being an unfit mother and all of that. The journalist specifically asked him, are you concerned or bothered by the fact that her medical records were released illegally? No, what I'm bothered by is the fact that the trouble she started had one of my students try to commit suicide. Really? Really? Yeah, okay. So they went on. I said, that's a mess. He ended up talking to Leslie, the headmaster, after that, and basically telling her he felt like he was all alone in this, and that she just kind of pushed him out there. And she explained to him, no, I've been taking all the shots, and trying to keep this all together, but we all could have actually handled it better. Because I came to you in the beginning and you did nothing. You did nothing. You didn't get any truth out of your boys. Then we found out at the end of the day they did something and all of that. So no, let's not play that game. I've had your back all the time. So I was like, okay. So remember when we left off last week, remember the basketball team, those 4 guys beat up Taylor. They beat the shit out of Taylor. Taylor been avoiding his mom the whole time and ain't been home. He got black eye. He's all fucked up. He's in pain and carrying on. Now the boyfriend is reaching out to Taylor, and he's basically standing over there with the boyfriend. I don't know where his parents are, but he's standing over there with the boyfriend. And the boyfriend's like, you need to press charges. You need to go to a doctor and get some help because you're, for the pain and all that. He refused to help. He don't even want to talk. He's just walking off because that's Taylor. Taylor walks around in a cloud most of the time. So I don't think Taylor's pages turn. He gets to be a little irritating after a while, but he got issues. He has issues. So we go through all that. Then we have another little scene where we see Terry, Kevin's mother. The shit done jumped over there to her job. Her boss that came to talk to her. Because it's all in the newspapers and all this. And he's wondering, what's up with you? Because, that thing got around too. You done went and acted a damn fool down at the restaurant. And he just basically was telling her, you can take time off. This, that thing, and the other. Child, them little speeches that they have right before they get rid of your ass? Yeah. And he's saying, no, I'm just telling you, I'm behind you. And she said, is this coming from corporate? Or is this coming from you? And he told her, I'm trying to deal with this and try to keep this from getting to a point where it is coming from corporate. So he basically telling her, you get your shit together or your ass is going to be out of here. So shit's getting real over there. Then I kept saying, who is this Sebastian character? Sebastian, this guy, we kept seeing him. Look, he's following the case and following the things that are going on. He knows something. He knows something. He ended up calling Taylor's mother at work. She thought it was a prank call. But he was telling her, that stuff over there needs to stop and I can help you. I want to help you. She told him, don't call back here again. I thought it was a prank call because there's so much of that going on. So I understood kind of where she was. Then we had this really strange situation where Taylor went and, he's kind of into like anime and all of that. And he had bought this poster, and the poster's of this Asian female warrior princess or whatever she is. And then we see him text message someone that says, Can you meet me? I want to buy something. Well, wouldn't you know it? He's trying to buy drugs, okay? Trying to deal with his pain. Well, who do you think the drug dealer is? None other than Coach Dan's goddamn daughter. She got her mama's weed selling it. She got Oxycontin selling it. Carrying on. So she told us $100 for this shit I got. He's like, I only got 68. Should give him a little something to work with. Just straight up drug dealing bitch. I said, well, all right, Annie. And your dad running around talking shit on folks. And you run around selling drugs. Isn't that pretty? Shit swept under the carpet. The mama and her drug use and all this here. The daughter's a drug dealer. Just a damn mess. But anyway, so then she says, I heard you were gay. You know, this, that, thing, and the other. And then she's kind of ditzy. So she's like, so that means you just like anybody? You know? And he's like, no, it doesn't work like that. I just wanted to be with somebody. You know, and he asked her to like hang out with him. He just wanted to talk. And he feels comfortable with girls, I guess. You know, like most gays do. Because I guess he felt like, you know, you don't want nothing from me and we'd just be chilling, you know. But no, she ends up going and kissing him in the mouth, child, looking down, trying to see if his little stuff got hard at him. And I guess it was given no confrontation. So she's like, child, I'm out of here. You know, it's like, no hope for his ass, honey. So she ends up going on. I said, but Miss Clean Cut, drug dealing bitch. But so that was a whole mess. That was kind of weird. So he's taking this Oxycontin, carrying on. I don't know what he's doing, you know. So he ends up leaving there. He ends up going to Tess and Nate's house, acting all strange. Goes through their house, ends up taking their gun, stealing Nate's gun, and he goes on off into the woods, basically. And they lead us to believe that he shot himself, but he really didn't. He's out there having a little target practice, shooting at the trees. And you can see, probably Nate probably has taught him how to shoot a gun when he was younger, and he used to hang with him, because that motherfucker was a sure shot, baby, shooting at this damn tree trunk. I said, okay, all right, whatever. So he's out there. He's taking these Oxycontin. Baby, he get the hallucinating and carrying on. His mind was all over the place, okay? And all this episode, he actually had this little book with him that he was supposed to be dealing with from his therapist, telling you write your feelings down in the book. You know, you just journal. It's very therapeutic. So he's carrying the book. He ain't wrote nothing. Gets out there. He decides he's trying to write. Nothing really coming up. He get to hallucinating. He hallucinated about the warrior princess and her stabbing him, and just, you know, he's just all out there, water running, and his mind was just all over the place. Poor thing, just as high as a damn kite. And he ends up, you know, he's getting back together, and he's sitting there, and he done got high as hell. So he goes and he looks at his little book. Now he gonna write. I'll tell you what he wrote. He wrote Eric, Kevin, Wes, and Dr. Graham. Next thing we see, he's in the office. Out in the office, principal's office. She's off doing a seminar. God was on her side, okay? Because old boy is gone. All the sweeping up underneath the carpet, all of the shit with them fucking with his mother, everything that came full circle and boom, full speed ahead. He got his ass at Leland High School. He didn't come in there. He gonna start at the bottom of the list. He come there to kill Leslie Graham, Dr. Graham, the headmaster. So that's the first bitch that fucked with his mother, right? Bitch gotta go. He come there for her, baby, with the gun in his pocket. And the receptionist ends up, she says, you can wait for her, you know, and everything like that. And then she says to him, and it's what she said, you never know what you're talking, who you're talking to, and where they are. She said to him, I have to say, not just me, but several people who actually who work here, we don't feel like you were handled properly and that the situation that you went through is not right and it should have been handled differently. And whatever she said resonated with that young man. You understand me? And he got his ass up and he left up out of there. Okay? Before he made a big, big mistake. Okay? Because he was going to fuck her up. Trust me. He come there to fuck something up. He left the school and left the notebook. He was done with it. He was done with the whole, just done with feeling that way, period. He left the fucking notebook there. He was leaving. Okay? Y'all hold that part. I'm going to go backwards a little bit. And then we're going to come back to that. Before we got to that part, there was when Eric had the little confrontation with his dad and the brother and all that, and he leaves. Here he's out again. He out hooking up. Some grown-ass man. Yeah, that internet shit. He hooked up with this dude. The dude gets there. He's like, I thought you said you had like a sports car or whatever. He's like, no. He's like, you wouldn't have came probably if I would have told you what kind of car we had. It was a minivan. And he told him, I got a wife. I got a kid. You know, I just need some time to be me. So he's all down low. Some old bullshit. He asked him, what you like? You know, what you like to do? What do you top, bottom? What you like to give or receive? Or, you know, he's going through the whole little gay chat. And he says, no, I just want to make out. And I'm like, child, you gonna quit playing with people like this? With this bullshit? You just want to kiss and shit? People, child, you better quit playing with grown folks. So they go off to a little remote site and everything. And Eric's real standoffish and, you know, he's going on. And then he starts kind of saying what he has to say. And he's telling the man, you know, yeah, you know, because the guy said, I used to just get it on up, you know, but I don't know how to get me a beer. You want a beer? You know, and he's like, no, I don't want no beer. And he's like, maybe you don't want to do this for real. And the guy's like, okay, so he started going on. He's pouring out his problems about his brother and his dad. He just running. And the guy gonna say, I don't want to hear that shit. And he's sitting there. Next thing I know, the guy punches Eric in the mouth and leaps up on top of him, baby. See, now, here we go. This is a little piece of karma. Okay? Little piece of karma. Because you've been pumping this story about how he wanted to be treated rough and he wanted this and he wanted that. Well, you got your stinking ass out on a little internet date with Down Low Piece, and you get up there and you want to play tiddlywinks with him. All you want to do is kiss him in the mouth. Well, he's like, oh no, there's going to be some dick up in you today. And he literally, you're being raped. So it's kind of like that turnabout. Now you know how it feels. Now you're being raped. And it was a mess. It was a damn mess. And he either clawed the guy's face or used the cap from the beer bottle or something and clawed him. And he was able to get out of the car. But the guy had fucked him up. He really did. Like, he couldn't even stand up on his feet, you know, right away. He had done roughed him up so bad. But the guy was, whatever he did to him, it was good thinking and quick thinking because he got out of the car and he ran off. But turnabout in a lot of cases is fair play, right? And I'm not going to say that was fair play. It was horrible. But y'all all run around playing pussy and everybody's getting fucked at this point. It's not cute. It's not cute. So let's go back to Leland. Little Taylor, they got himself together because he didn't got a second lease on life. He like, damn, I'm good. Shit, fuck that Oxycontin. I'm good, you know, because he was really at this point where I guess he was feeling like nobody loved him and nobody cared nothing about him. When the lady said that, it brought him back. And somebody cares. Everybody ain't bad and everybody ain't fucked up and everybody here ain't against you. So it had turned things around for him. Taylor was leaving the school, walking off. He bumps into Wes. Wes going to yank him up, see, because now you big and bad because you done whooped his ass with a bunch of folks. So now you know, he all scared of you. So you just going to rough him up and talk your shit and got him all up in his motherfucking collar. And you see Taylor looking at him like, motherfucker, are you serious? And he's really just like trying to just rough it up just right out front. There was a couple kids that went by and they just kept going, you know. They weren't paying really too much attention. They just kept going. And he got him all yanked up in the collar and shit. He's calling them faggots and all this, you know, the shit that people do. And then he had this real blank stare on his face. I said, what the hell's going on? And then you look down and you see Taylor done went up in his pocket. And the gun is in his hand. And Wes's motherfucking guts is on the floor. And you see him basically in a still and just fall to that because it does shock the shit out of you. Literally and figuratively. He shot the shit out of him. And he just fell on over there and died. And Taylor just walked the fuck on off. Well, let me go. Gotta go now. He left. Shit done hit the news. Shit was a mess. Leslie standing up giving a speech at the podium. Her cell phone's going off. She ended up walking off from the podium. Rushing on back over to Leland to try to do some damage control, see what the fuck is going on at her school. Here Taylor done went down to his mother's job. It had already been on the news. And I said, isn't that your son's school? She said, oh, no, baby, he don't go there no more. Here, and next thing you know, he's coming to the door. He tells her, Mom, I think I'm in trouble. Nah, I know I'm in trouble. He come in. She said, where's the gun at, Taylor? She gets the gun off of him. She opens up the little lock container. She's a manager. She puts the gun in her purse, but she didn't lock the door back. Then her phone is going off. She shuts it off. It's the police. And the girl says that one of the workers is the regular phone rings at her job. She goes over, she answers, she says, the phone's for you. She gets the phone. It's the police. We're looking for your son. She says, okay. I don't know where he is. She turned around. Taylor gone. She didn't panic. Her purse is sitting there empty. Purse on the top of the counter now. It's empty. She's like, Taylor. She turned around Taylor and went back in the booth. And he's sitting in the booth. So she goes on back there. She eases on up to him. Give me that gun. You know, she gets the gun off him, sits it in the booth. She takes her cell phone. She calls 911. And tell him, I got my son. My son is with me. Gave him the address where we're at. He's unarmed. Come on. You know, no. Just that, you know, they all hyped up. She's like, no. Like, don't even start the bullshit. He's unarmed. And I have my son here. And I was just done. I was done. I mean, the whole reality of how it went down was just, they did that. Okay? They did that. And it was like this little isolated event. And it was like, wow. And it was really, that was a real moving episode, but that's where it ended. And so I can't wait until next week. Because I think shit's going to get real deep next week. Well, I know shit's going to get real deep next week. But again, have we not been sweeping shit under the carpet from the beginning? We paying off people. We writing folks off. We shoving shit under the carpet. And now shit is a mess. And it didn't have to be that way. It really didn't. And it's just getting started. I'm sure things are going to get worse. But I'm so here for it. I'll be here to see it. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Y'all know what to do. And I will catch y'all next week. All right. Bye, guys.